Welcome to Analytics with Nags. In this video, we're going to see about how to create our SSAS tabular model. So the prerequisite is like you need to have all the required softwares and you need to create your star schema ready. Without star schema also you can create using a single table, that is absolutely fine, but that is a recommended practice. Like now we have seen our previous videos like what is star schema and the sales fact table and finance fact table, different data mats. Now in this video we are going to create this SSAS tabular model and deploy it in the another server. That is what end objective of this video. If you're new to this channel, hit the subscribe button right now to learn the concepts in SSAS. Let's jump into a demo. So to create cubes, as I told, it's part of SSDT. You are going to create one solution file. We'll say it as solution file. Okay, that will create a SSAS tabular model. And as you might aware, like SSDT data tools, it's a combination of tools like SSIS and SSRS and other related tools as well. To create ETL packages, you go for SSIS, and for creating cubes, you need to go for analysis service, then reporting service. In our case, now we are going for analysis service tabular, and in this you have three options: analysis service tabular project, import from Power Pivot, and import from server. So these two options we will discuss it later. For creating a new project, you need to choose this one, analysis service tabular project. Let me store it in this project. It is ADV YouTube demo. Okay, AdventureWorks YouTube demo. So whether you need to create a subdirectory or create a directory for a solution, click OK. That's okay, absolutely fine. Now it will prompt for some options, like whether you need to choose integrated workspace, workspace server, and some option over here. Okay, and let me go through it quickly. So integrated workspace, like when you create a analysis servers, it's a different architecture. It requires that services to be run in your system. So integrated workspace will simulate the analysis service if you are not installed it. So just use this one if your local system doesn't have this one. And in our case, we already installed SQL Server Analysis Service, so all the workloads will be happening over here. Okay, so you choose this option now. Then the compatibility level should be 2016, because there are certain options. If you choose the latest one, your import from tables look 2019. The import from tables will look same like your Power BI, if you are familiar with, like it uses mquery kind of UI. So default option you choose for this for now 2016 RTM, which will be a conventional one. We will try to do it in changing the compatible letters, compatible level later videos. Let us proceed with this. Once you click on it, then you will get a window over here, like the project, the solution explorer, and along with the tabular model explorer. These are two different tabs you will receive it. Like solution explorer is like solution is something like your project, and it creates one model file. Okay, this model file, when you double click on it, it will navigate to this one, tabular model explorer. Okay, so let me walk through this what it is. So entire thing is stored in your model. Okay, the entire project model BIM, and you can see here these two tabs I already explained. Now in the tabular explorer, you are going to perform all these things. Basically the data sources is like where your data resides. So in case of your architecture, this particular server details you are providing it in the data sources. Okay, it will not import any tables, just a connection to the database. Then you can create KPIs, then measures, relationship, or other things. So first we will go for data sources and import tables. Then what will happen? Let us see one by one. Let us try to create a import from data source. So my source is SQL Server. You can see other sources that SSAS Tabular can connect. Typically relational databases like Azure or Azure SQL, then IBM, other databases, and it can also connect another multidimensional, so you can get it from Excel and text files. So there are very limited connections. Okay, if it is not connecting listed here, you need to use OLDB or ODBC connection. There is generic connection mechanism. In our case, let us go for SQL Server. Click on next. My server name is over here. This is my server name. Let me copy it and put it over here. Then give some friendly name like ADV data warehouse. Okay, that is my friendly name. That indicates if you have multiple you are reading from different databases, you need to identify which database. Okay, that is why ADV data warehouse. Then this database resides in this server. Which database you want to connect? Okay, you need to choose the AdventureWorks data warehouse. Then use Windows authentication to connect. The next step is very important, the impersonation services. So the analysis service over here, it has to read via some account, using which account from analysis service it has to contact. Okay, so that is what you give service account. The service account is nothing but in which service the account which used to run the analysis service, using that account you connect to my database. That is what you are saying. So let us walk through that later. Now once it is done, so this is very important point. Maybe I will show it right now. So go to services.msc. This step is mandatory, otherwise if you miss it, it will throw error. So give the service account. In case of organization, you will have some. Okay, let me show what I'm trying to say. So this will be run using some account, right? You see here, log on. This to run this particular services. So okay, or account. So in your go to your database, and in your this is your data warehouse. This is your and in the security you need to add this account. Okay, that OLAP security account. How to add it? Just go to new login, then give just like put it like him, right? I mean Naga. Just you can do it easily. I mean, just copy that name and just get it one. Okay, just go here and get this name and put it over here. Okay, log on. Just get this guy and go here, just put it here. Check names, it will be there. So just put this one and give the user roles. Okay, different which database he has to access. Give this database he wants to connect to. Okay, this is one of the additional steps you need to do. So all these things you no need to do as a developer in the current, I mean in your organization setup. These things will be a part of a DBA job. They will configure one account for you. For now we need to do it. So add that particular service account, analyst service account, in the new login. This already added. Let me open it and show it to you. This particular account, what are the roles? Public, then user mapping. This particular database he has rights to read it. Okay, then go to this database and check this particular user, this Naga MSBI tab, that is the service account. Then owned schemas should be DB owner or DB reader based on the privileges. If you are practicing, you go for DB owner, and in your actual scenario it can be DB reader. That is more than enough. It's this users should just read the data, so no need of DB ownership. Okay, so this thing is a mandatory step, otherwise it will throw error. Now use the service account. This is another important step. Then select from the list of tables and views to choose to import the data. So now once you created the data source, I think as I said before, it's not only creating the data source there, but the data source will be stored here. Whatever you're choosing it will be listed here. Okay, so it has two steps. All the two steps it's performing. Let me choose fact internet sales. That is the all-time favorite. Then if the foreign key primary key is defined in the database, you can choose select related tables here. Okay, so this table along with all the primary key tables, these are related tables. Okay, those things also will be selected. Okay, then click on finish. So it will try to import all your data into your SSAS development tools. I mean, it's a project. It's you are trying to build a cube. Okay, it's not like a coding, so it's a GUI to create your cubes. So now you can see these are the relationship it's already created, as the foreign and primary key is defined in the data warehouse already. You can see a fact internet sales column. You see all these things are foreign keys. Okay, so the relationship is explicitly defined here. That is why you see all the relationships are already created. Okay, where you can see it, so let me explain this one. Now you have imported this. Now there are two different views of it. So this is grid view and the diagram view. Diagram view is nothing but you want to create a relationship over here. Okay, that is what the diagram view is all about. Say for example, I can delete this relationship here for now, and then I can explicitly create it. Delete from model. Okay, once it is not related, the filtration will not apply. Okay, how to create a relationship now? Just click on it. I mean to say, drag and drop also will do. Like drag and drop it in customer key. That is easy way to create. Otherwise, click on a table and create a relationship. This is another way of creating a relationship. uh, I will explain what is the benefit of creating a relationship. Only then you can do a filtering. If you are familiar with Power BI, so this is typically your modeling task. Whatever you do the modeling, everything you are doing it here. So you are segregating your modeling part from Power BI. That is a key objective of. So you can create a relationship, and then you come here in the grid view. What you can see is like you can see each table whatever you are imported. I see, like I click on fact, and these are the related tables that I have already imported in this model. Now in order to see the data of it, just click on each table in the tab below it, then you can see it here. Okay, so this is fine. Now as I said in my previous videos, the ultimate aim of your cube is to create some measures. Fact means you should have measures. So whatever numerical values you have it here, right? The total, tax, sales amount. This will not be actually created in turn. Okay, you can this is basically a measures, but in SSAS you can explicitly create some other calculations. Okay, for that you use a language called DAX. So I want basically now sum of sales amount. Okay, you have all these grids area. You can write those formulas over here. Say for example, what is the syntax to write? Let me zoom it up. click on it. Okay, it should start with some name like sales amount. So you need to click on this grid and the formula right here. The syntax is you need to give a name and semicolon equal to. Okay, it's not equal to. Equal to operator is used to compare the results or assign values. So here, in order to assign to this particular measure name, the syntax is name of the measure. It can have spaces and then followed by colon equal to. Then you write DAX, simple DAX, sum of cells. It will list all possible columns, okay, that can be summed up. So I put here, that's it. So this is one of the simple measure that will summed up. See, this is what it will have is like, it will store the aggregated value in the fact table. The entire results is stored here. Okay, that is sum of this particular column. Okay, it's like Excel formula, right? Typically people say like DAX is similar to Excel formula. It is as such. Now you can do something else, like I can create sum of tax amount. Okay, let me do it for you. So you are writing all your formulas here. Okay, sales amount, tax amount. Okay, that is tax amount is my sum. Now what I need to do here, right? Uh, the sales amount, and now we have sales amount and the tax amount. Okay, so the sales amount minus tax amount is my profit. So let us try to write some formula for profit. Profit equals sales. So I already calculated these two measures that will appear here. So it's typically like writing formula in Excel, but when the calculation goes complex, this will not be easy as Excel. So now you see, like those who are familiar with Excel, they can write it, this cell minus this cell. That is what it is saying, sales amount minus tax amount. Okay, instead of referring the cell reference, you will refer with the names, measure names. Okay, that is what it is. So this is for your beginning understanding. You need to import a table and you need to create a relationship here, that using a relationship, and in the grid views in fact tables you can write a measure. Of course you are not restricted to write measures in dimensions as well, like you can have a count of distinct count of members in your dimension tables also can be a measure. So you can write all your calculations in each table. Okay, so whether you can ask me whether I cannot write a distinct count of sales territory in this fact table, you can still write. This is just for manageability, like measures won't be against each table. You can write it across a model. Okay, measures is against a model. So with this note, let us try to deploy this model. So now just going back to the architecture, like using this data tools, we have designed the model here, and this is residing one in your solution file. This file is your local file. It can be stored in D drive, F drive, or it can be version controlled. It can be stored anywhere. It can be stored in the cloud also. It's just a file. So using this file, you are reading from here and deploy it here. So this acts as an intermediate layer to create these cubes. Okay, just as a GUI. So now we have built it. Now you are going to deploy it. How to deploy it? Just go to Solution Explorer, then click on this particular tab. Okay, there is solution file. Go to properties, then here you give your analysis service server name. So make sure that you are giving the proper analysis service server name. You see, when you try to connect to SQL server, right, very first time, you can have different options. You have SQL server, that is database engine. Here you have Tabular server. You give this particular name. Okay, that is what I have given it here. Okay, then give a name, so it can be ADV YouTube name. That's it. Then what about this processing? Let us discuss this later. Now these are the different options. In this server we are going to deploy this database. As I mentioned before, this is another database. Click OK, everything looks fine for me, and build the project. If there is any calculation issues, everything will be determined or identified in this build phase. Then once it is successfully built, you can deploy the project, deploy solution. So it says server is latest. You want to upgrade the maybe the compatibility level. Then it's not required right now. Let me go for no. Deploy solution. Do not show me again. Yes. So success. So you see, like, very quickly it has read all these records and stored in a tabular model. Okay, so then how this tabular model will look like? Connect to the tabular model, then connect here. And one thing I want to show here is like this is the cube or tabular model we have built and deployed it. And what is this demo in Nagendra KG? What is this? So this is basically like you were in the initial when I open data tools, I choose the two options: integrated workspace or dedicated server, right? So when I choose the server, it is creating a temporary model here. Whatever you are working here, that is all this work temporarily stored here. Okay, once we close this solution file, this will also be closed. Okay, now we have deployed it. That is why this database came. Let us try to see what are the things available here. You have the tables, just like database tables, it is appearing, and you have a connection. So you are accessing the model in the database. So how to analyze the data? Either you can use new query, MDX, or DAX. So you can use DAX to query it here if you are familiar with. In my case, I will go for Excel. In Excel I can connect, or in Power BI I can connect. So either way you can, whichever is familiar for you. So this SSAS is stored in a database. You are accessing this from any reporting tool. First we will try to get it from I mean yes let us get it from the analysis service in Excel. Okay, let us try to copy it. It will not come as such. It is very tricky. Let me take it from here. Okay, so in Excel I'm giving this name. I put this one. You see different models appearing. So I've chosen AdventureWorks which database. Click on this, next, and click finish. So it will appear as a pivot table. Okay, you can analyze using a pivot table, how you analyze in Excel. So now these are the two measures we have created: sales, tax, and profit. Now you see these measures appear here. Okay, and I want to analyze in different perspective, like different dimensionality, like which gender. In female, this is my sales, and you can have from other dimensions, like from which product. Okay, product, English product name, let me put that one. So these are the different products, and maybe I will put it here in the columns axis. So you see here, these are the different products sold by different, you are viewing the sales amount in different dimensions. That is what your analysis service cubes will do. So typically we created the cube here and deployed here from using a data tools, and using Excel files we are trying to access it. Okay, and all the star schema and how you analyze the tables, it will be 10x faster instead of picking out from here, because all this possible combination of your dimensionality is stored in your SSAS cubes. So you can have multiple dimensions here to analyze. And we will see how to connect in Power BI and what are the different other options in SSAS cubes in our upcoming videos. If you like this video, share and subscribe to the channel, comment below for queries. Do remember that data is your asset.